Well, I've come to the Lincoln Homestead in Kentucky to learn about Lincoln's family. Behind me is the reconstructed cabin of Thomas Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln's father. Around 1782, Captain Abraham Lincoln left his home in Rockingham County, Virginia, and moved to what is now Kentucky. In 1786, Abraham and his wife Bathsheba were living on a farm in Jefferson County. Abraham and his sons Mordecai, Thomas, and Josiah were planting corn when they were attacked by Indians. Mordecai killed one of the attackers, but not before Abraham was mortally wounded. Bathsheba moved her sons and daughters to a house on this site shortly after Abraham's death. When Mordecai Lincoln came of age, he inherited his father's entire estate. Thomas Lincoln inherited nothing. Then, around 1797, Mordecai Lincoln built this house. He was the uncle of Abraham Lincoln, and this house is part of the Lincoln Homestead State Park. This house is currently closed, so we can't go inside. And this is the back of Mordecai Lincoln's house. As you can see, there is some picnic tables and a restroom back here. President Abraham Lincoln's father, Thomas Lincoln, lived in his mother's house on this site until he was 25 years old. All right, now let's go into Thomas Lincoln's reconstructed cabin. Now this is part of the Lincoln Homestead State Park in Kentucky. And here we have his bed, a corner cabinet, and a door, and some items on the table, and the fireplace. Now, there is an upstairs to this, but you can't go up there. It is locked. And above the mantel, we have what appears to be a flintlock musket and a saddle here in the corner. And we come around the room. Thomas Lincoln's broadaxe. Corner cabinet. And then we have several guns above the bed. Next we'll go to the berry cabin. This is where Abraham Lincoln's father proposed to his wife, and this house was originally located a mile from here, and they moved it here to this state park so that they could gather all the buildings together. So let's go inside and see what this building looks like. And once you enter this building, they have a corner cabinet filled with objects, a nice fireplace, and above the fireplace in the berry house it says, Nancy Hanks lived in this home when she was courted by Thomas Lincoln. Thomas Lincoln proposed to Nancy in the living room in front of the immense fireplace. Okay. Now as we go around, we have a spinning wheel and a rope bed with a trundle bed underneath it. And then we come into this room and we find another bed and a crib. And then go upstairs. And up here, we find a whole series of spinning wheels and a loom for making cloth. And I do not know what that thing is, but it looks as though it spins. And we have one bed up here. All right, coming into the next room. This is on the downstairs level. It looks like barn doors there. And in here, they have several objects. It looks like this was an addition to the house. And then, moving to the back, this appears to be the kitchen. The corner cupboard and the fireplace and cooking utensils on the ground and a table. All right, now behind the reproduction of Thomas Lincoln's cabin, there is a path that goes down to the stream. And there's a covered bridge here. This is kind of neat, going through the bridge. And I believe this is supposed to be the blacksmith shop. Unfortunately, this thing looks locked up. So let's see if we can see anything through the window. Yes, it's definitely the blacksmith shop, but I don't think you can see anything in there. Let's see if the other window has a better view. Yep, that's it, but we can't get in. Well, that blacksmith shop was locked, so now it's back to the visitor center and look around there. So I hope you've enjoyed this visit to the Lincoln Homestead, and until next time, see ya.